What's up, guys? Alex back again. Bit of a different video, not vinyl related at all. But I do have a couple of people to give shout outs to because they actually inspired me to make this video. The first is Vinyl Victim's niece. She did an entire CD collection, so that kind of inspired me to do this one. And then also the Omaha Introvert. She did a room tour, but she showed off parts of her collection as well, so, or parts of her CD collection, so I guess I have a reason to thank there. So yeah, those two wonderful, beautiful ladies inspired me to do this video. Now, I do have a lot of CDs here. Most of them are going to be hip-hop related from when I was still getting into hip-hop, and I haven't had a chance to clear a lot of them out yet. And anything that you see that is electronic music, I bought back in my college days before I was getting into vinyl, because part of my production course that I was doing meant we had to produce some electronic music, so there will be some electronic music parts in here. Let me start off with the ones that I don't have room for on my shelves here, starting off with Bush by Snoop Dogg. Nina Simone, The Essential Collection, basically just her first album and then a mixture of live concert stuff. The Jazz June, After the Earthquake. Some of these you will have seen on my channel, some of these you wouldn't have seen. The Electronic 80s, the collection. Some good stuff on there. I haven't listened to CD 4 yet, but I plan to do that very shortly. Linkin Park, Live in Texas. CD and DVD set. I don't plan to show you all the CDs of these, but maybe just the ones that are interesting to me. And then the Grandmaster Flash collection, which has 4 CDs. And I don't have many box sets, but them two are them. So that's it for the first section. Now everything else you're about to see is alphabetical. And then after the alphabet we'll get into the soundtracks. So let's get into this. Starting off at A, we have ABBA, Gold. Louis Armstrong, The Great Entertainer. By the way, I have pulled them out of all the racks because otherwise this video will go on forever with me trying to pull them out and put them back in again. A Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders. And believe it or not, that is it for the A section. B, we have Lloyd Banks, The Hunger for More. I have not listened to this in a long time. I think I only bought it because there were a couple of songs on here with artists that I liked, so I picked it up for that reason. Beastie Boys, License to Ill. Of course, you got to know that. To the Five Boroughs and To Check It Out is the big song on this album. No, I didn't stutter. That is genuinely the name of the big track on this album. CD there, that's a pretty interesting one. Rubber Soul, Beatles. I'm not a big Beatles fan, but I do have my favourite Beatles album, and then Beatles 67 to 70. This was a freebie, so I might as well take it. Maybe throw that on one day. Blondie Greatest Hits, which has a CD and then has a DVD of all their music videos. So there's that. The Best of Bon Jovi. Gotta have some Bon Jovi, of course. Young Americans by David Bowie. Actually one of my favourite David Bowie albums. Scary Monsters. Of course you got Ashes to Ashes, Fashion on here. My favourite track on this album, Teenage Wildlife. Great album. Let's Dance. Another one of my favourite Bowie albums, just because it's produced by Nile Rodgers. Tonight by David Bowie. Actually really like that album. And then Changes Bowie. all his hits. So yeah, some good stuff on that one. I don't know why I have this one, but I have John Cena and the trademark "You Can't See Me." I think it's because I'm partly a big wrestling fan, so I had to get that for nostalgia reasons, I guess. I don't know. Tracy Chapman, her self-titled debut album, one of my favourite albums, gotta be honest. I love that album. Journeyman, Eric Clapton. I don't have a lot of Clapton on CD. I wish I had more, but I have what I have. And then Clapton Chronicles as well. Good stuff there. Phil Collins, No Jacket Required. The only Phil Collins album I have on CD, unfortunately. Common, B, another one of them ones I bought when I was just getting into hip-hop and I haven't listened to in a really long time. Coolio, Gangsta's Paradise. Black Sunday by Cypress Hill, probably one of my favourite hip-hop albums. D12, Devil's Night. And these next two are two of those house ones I was talking about, or electronic music, I guess. Dead Mouse, for lack of a better name. And then we have Dead Mouse, 4 times 4 equals 12. Delamitri, Change Everything. Another one I need to go back and re-listen to. DMX, The Great Depression. The very best of Fats Domino in concert, loved this. The Eminem Show. Encore. And Eurythmics' Greatest Hits. The next artist you're about to see, I went through a huge phase of listening to his stuff. That is 50 Cent, so we have Get Rich or Die Trying. We have The Massacre. Curtis. And Before I Self-Destruct. Fortunately, my 50 Cent phase ended before his most recent album came out, so I don't have that one, but I do have his first 4. And the thing is, they just get slightly worse with each album, but only slightly. Foo Fighters' first album, actually some decent stuff on there. And Rock in Rio 2001. This is a bootleg CD, but you gotta have it. It's great to hear them live. The Game with LAX. I think I only picked this up because there was a track on here that I loved, but I'm not a big fan of The Game, to be honest. Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? I love this because of the recreation of the American Tamla Motown label. I do like that quite a bit. And that album, of course. Very Best of Marvin Gaye. Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses, you all know that one. Use Your Illusion 2. Didn't like this as much as Appetite for Destruction, but of course, still got to give it a mention. Synchronized by Jamiroquai. I guess another one of those electronic ones, technically, but not for the same reasons as Dead Mouse or anything else you're going to see in this video. Ice Cube War and Peace Volume 2, The Peace Disc, my favourite Ice Cube album. I've said that before. Took some people by surprise. Forever Gold, the Isley Brothers, love that. It's just all their hits, but I do love it, so it's great. Thriller by Michael Jackson. Dangerous by Michael Jackson. I don't have Bad or Off the Wall because on CD they're really hard to find. And then Lady in Satin, Billie Holiday. The only thing I have by an artist with H. And I love the recreation of the 6i Columbia label. Really, really good stuff there. Now, just like the 50 Cent, you're about to see an artist that I went through a phase of listening to. This guy right here, if you can see that, Jay-Z. You're about to see a bunch of his albums. So let's breeze through these. Reasonable Doubt. There. The Life and Times of Sean Carter, Volume 3. The Blueprint. The Blueprint 2.1. My personal favourite, the Black Album. Amazing stuff on there. And Blueprint Free. I do still listen to Jay-Z every now and then, but mostly it's just his new album and just his greatest hits, more or less. Not a big Elton John fan, but I do have his greatest hits from 1970 to 2002. Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Bad City. To Pimp a Butterfly. Big Alicia Keys fan, but I'm still missing quite a few of her stuff, so there's Songs in A minor. And then there's the Elements of Freedom. Missing everything else, unfortunately. I have Led Zeppelin's self-titled album. I have Led Zeppelin's untitled album. And everything else by Led Zeppelin I am missing on CD. Lil Wayne Carter 2. The Carter 2. I don't know why I have this. I don't really listen to Lil Wayne anymore. It's got the song Fireman on it, which is probably one of his biggest tracks, but I think that's the only reason I have it, really. Might get rid of that one soon. Linkin Park Meteora, my favourite Linkin Park album. Minutes to Midnight by Linkin Park, and everything else I'm missing outside of the Live in Texas you saw earlier. And LL Cool J All World, just the greatest hits by him. Exodus by Bob Marley. Legend by Bob Marley. I need an upgrade of this because the CD is absolutely trashed. And Justice for All by Metallica. Metallica by Metallica, my favourite Metallica album. Missy Elliott, Respect M.E. Nas Illmatic, one of Nas's best album actually, but not my favourite by him. One of those electronic ones I picked up when I was in college. This is Nero, Welcome Reality. Haven't listened to that in a long time. Nickelback, Dark Horse. This has Burn It to the Ground and If Today Was Your Last Day, which are two of my favourite Nickelback tracks, and I am somewhat of a casual Nickelback fan. I'm not a huge fan of their work, but I do like the odd song here and there, so I figured I'll pick that one up because it's got two of my favourite tracks on it. Born Again by Biggie. His stuff's really hard to find on CD, but I do also have a greatest hits. NWA, Straight Outta Compton, the 20th anniversary edition. It's no different, I don't think. Oh, it's got bonus tracks, but other than that, it's nothing too special. What's the Story? Morning Glory by Oasis, the only album by Oasis that I actually like. I mean, it's not just the album, it's the songs Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger, Champagne Supernova, those songs in particular. I do like Supersonic, but that's not on this album. Pearl Jam 10, my favourite Pearl Jam album, had to grab that. A couple more electronic ones here. This is Immersion by Pendulum, and then we have Prodigy, The Fat of the Land. A UK hip-hop artist here. We have Alive Till I'm Dead by Professor Green, and then we have his second album, At Your Inconvenience, probably my favourite album by him. Automatic for the People, R.E.M. Love that album. By the Way by Red Hot Chili Peppers. Stadium Arcadium by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Back to Front by Lionel Richie. Love a bit of Lionel Richie here and there. Loud by Rihanna. Don't Judge Me. Teflon Don by Rick Ross, my favourite Rick Ross album. Not a huge fan of his, by the way, but I do love this album. Rudimental, Home, another one of those electronic ones, even though this has a bit of everything on here. And then the Best of Run DMC, of course, you got to have that one. Eric Sermon, Music. Great Eric Sermon album. Don't Judge Me, Please. Plus by Ed Sheeran. Still don't know why I have this. I guess for the song A-Team. I think I really like that song. Will Smith, Big Willie Style. It just has all. I think this is just all of his hits because it's got Getting Jiggy with It, Just the Two of Us, Men in Black, Candy, of course, featuring Larry Blackman and Cameo. So some great stuff there. Doggy Style by Snoop Dogg, Snoop Dogg's best album. Documentary by Snoop Dogg. Snow Patrol, Eyes Open. Soul to Soul Volume 2, A New Decade, with the upside down thing. Story of the Year, Black Swan. I've shown this off before, multiple occasions. Love this album. 2-pack, All Eyes on Me, double CD set there. Of course, one of his more popular albums. There it is, the double CD. Good stuff there. And then Resurrection. This could go in soundtracks, but it is just a 2-pack album, really. Westwood, The Invasion. If you don't know who Tim Westwood is, he is a UK radio DJ. Focuses a lot on hip hop and reggae. The White Stripes, Elephant. Not a big White Stripes fan, but I do really like the song Seven Nation Army, so I had to pick this CD up. The Who, Who's Better, Who's Best. CDs are all in. Stevie Wonder, The Definitive Collection. Just all his greatest hits. All I needed, really. Man vs. Machine, Exhibit. Another one I haven't listened to in a long time, but there are a couple of really good tracks on that album. Yellow Wolf, Love Story. Again, picked this up because there were a couple of songs I liked, but haven't listened to that in a long time. Finishing off with the soundtracks here. Don't have many, but let's just get on with these. Back to the Future, one of my favourite film trilogies of all time. The Best of Bond. 8 Mile soundtrack. Used to love this film. Fantastic Four, the album. Another one I need to go back and listen to, but some great bands feature on there. The Matrix soundtrack. Some good stuff there. Pulp Fiction. One of my favourite soundtracks, Saturday Night Fever. Space Jam soundtrack. Star Wars The Force Awakens. Wish I had more Star Wars soundtracks, but unfortunately I don't. And final one I'm going to show you guys is the Straight Outta Compton soundtrack. So that is going to do it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching this. Sorry there was so much hip hop, but like I said at the beginning, I had a phase for a large portion of my teenage years of just listening to nothing but hip hop, so that's why I have so much of it on CD. But thanks for being patient with me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I should have said at the beginning it would be long, but oh well, there we go. Anyway, that's going to do it. Remember to check out the 2 channels I shouted out at the beginning, Vinyl Victim's Niece and the Omaha Introvert. Links will be down in the description below. I'll also leave a link to my Discogs page in the description below, so if you are new to the channel, you can check out everything that's in my collection on there. Well, every album and 12-inch single I have. I haven't put my 7s on there yet. But anyways, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.